In 2012, George Lucas sold Star Wars to Disney, and this was a win-win. George Lucas already had a roadmap to the future of Star Wars.
I had made a decision to move ahead on the next Star Wars series, and we were starting to do that.
So you were starting to make the next Star Wars.
Yeah, they decided they didn't want to use those stories. They decided they were going to go do their own thing.
And do their own thing they did. And ultimately, we all know why Disney's Star Wars has been trash. Because fundamentally, Kathleen Kennedy just doesn't understand what Star Wars is. Just look at this back and forth between Kathleen Kennedy and George Lucas on what Star Wars is.
It's about good and evil in us, as well as our institutions. So, and the idea that some of us think we're really great people, but in the real world we're not. We're terrible people.
Or you can make bad choices.
Well, you make bad choices, but you run your life in a very selfish way, and you think you're doing good when you're actually not. And at the same time, it's you know, how do democracies turn back into dictatorship? Why do people who have the power to have the freedom and everything turn it over to somebody who's going to take it all away from them? It's happened through history forever and ever, and all Star Wars is a way of updating that idea to say, watch out, because there are people out there who don't play by the rules, and if you're not careful, you're going to lose all your freedom. And at the same time, those people who may not play by the rules because they're selfish and greedy turn themselves into evil people who don't care about other people.
Look at the rolling of the eyes. She fundamentally disagrees with everything he just said because she fundamentally sees the world in a different way and is interjecting her own personal biases into Star Wars. That's why the character of Boba Fett was so drastically changed in the Book of Boba. He was made out to be a submissive, sensitive, weak character that is not aggressive, that doesn't take the initiative, that isn't a man.
Where'd you get that water?
We stole it.
That's a crime.
Look, old man.
My name is...
We know who you are. If you want to abandon Mos Espa and hide in your fortress, go ahead. We're staying. The people who live here need our protection.
Yes, Boba Fett, you're not the man of this show. She is. But in season 2 of The Mandalorian, Boba Fett was the man. Boba Fett came in that episode of The Mandalorian season 2, and he was a bull going through those stormtroopers. He was aggressive. He was violent. He was everything we imagined in a Boba Fett. And when it was announced that he was going to get his own show, we were all stoked and excited. But then Kathleen Kennedy found out what the Boba Fett TV show was going to be and how it was not going to align with her own personal biases. So she made some changes. Changes that Temuera Morrison didn't like. You see, Temuera Morrison, the actor that plays Boba Fett, has stated how he wishes that Boba Fett will go back to his badass ways from Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. Go back to the Boba Fett that we saw in season 2 of The Mandalorian. And in a recent convention, Temuera Morrison opened up how he was expecting to return as Boba Fett in season 3 of The Mandalorian, but he just never got a call back. This is exactly what Morrison said. I was supposed to be in Mandalorian season 3, but nobody rang me. I was waiting for the phone call in New Zealand, waiting and waiting to give up. But Temuera Morrison didn't stop there, because he went on to voice his disappointment in the direction of the Book of Boba Fett. Specifically, with how Din Djarin had 2 episodes in his show. You know, those 2 episodes where they retconned everything that happened in season 2. Morrison stated that the Book of Boba Fett was destroyed, and that he had no control over that because he wasn't a writer. Makes me wonder what the plans for Boba Fett in season 3 of The Mandalorian were gonna be, because I believe that the original plan for season 3 of The Mandalorian were scrapped because, again, Kathleen Kennedy had other plans. Kathleen Kennedy understood that The Mandalorian was a success, but it had one problem. There was too much attention on Din Djarin, and to add Boba Fett in there, that would just pull away from where the attention needs to be, on bo-katan, the real Mandalorian of The Mandalorian. It's her show now, and that's the way Kathleen Kennedy likes it, because, again, Kathleen Kennedy has her own beliefs as to what Star Wars is, and unfortunately for us real Star Wars fans and Temuera Morrison, those beliefs are ruining Star Wars. But you let me know what you think down in the comments, and like always, don't forget to subscribe. Do it. Sensational.